Hi everyone, this is going to be a quick video about the JetDrive 855 from Transcend 480GB external SSD, but it's actually a lot more than that. Now first of all, let me say thank you to Transcend and PCWORX. This was given to me for free. They've actually been really supportive. I've had a lot of things from them, thankfully. Even my body cam that I use every day, this was from Transcend, also a gift, so thank you very much. Now why did I say this is more than an external SSD? Well, you'll notice here it says upgrade kit from Mac, and here I have my MacBook Air 2013. It's a little bit beaten up, it's got lots of scratches and dents, and the screws for the back, long gone, many years ago, but still working fine for editing my videos. Now let's open this up and I'll explain to you why it's so much more than an external drive. Firstly, it works by Thunderbolt, so PCI Express, very high speed, and you'll notice it's a little bit chunky because it's made out of aluminium, which acts as a heat sink that keeps your SSD cool so it won't get damaged if you use it for a long time. Now here's the magic part. If you look inside, there's two screwdrivers, one for removing the screws of your laptop, your MacBook, and the other for opening this, because this comes with a 480 gig SSD, which is compatible with Apple MacBooks. So what you can do is you can actually swap them. So for example, right now in my laptop I have 120 gigabyte, but here I have 480, so I can swap them depending on what my preference is, and that's actually what I'm going to do. But before we do that, let's plug it into the laptop and do a little test. Now bear in mind, this is a 2013 laptop, so it's not necessarily the fastest and best to demo, but it will give you an idea. So the external drive is showing here, Transcend. We'll open that. And on my laptop here I have a sample folder which has 14 gigabytes of photos and videos. So we're going to copy that over. We'll copy, paste, and see how long this takes. Like I said, this is a 2013 MacBook, so it might not be the fastest, but it will give you an idea. Look at that, 3 gigabyte copied, 4 gigabytes copied, 5 gigabytes copied. Can you imagine if this was on a little regular USB pen drive? It would take a long time to copy 14 gig. So it's now done, what's that, 9 gigabyte. And yeah, it's nearly done. 10, 11, 12. Sorry, I could have cut this in editing, but I wanted to show the whole thing. So that's 14 gig of video files transferred to my external Transcend here. Now we'll do another test where instead of copying from the laptop, we'll write random data to the drive. So I've written out the command that will create a 5 gig random data file on the external drive, and it will time it. So let's go. I tested this a little while ago and I think it was something like 8 or 9 seconds, which is pretty incredible, but let's see what comes up this time. Okay, there you go, 8.6 seconds to create a 5 gig file. Anyway, let's go to phase 2, which is swapping the drives, because that's the really exciting part for me, because I have 120 gig on this, and look, you can see I've got 5 gig remaining on my laptop. Every time I edit videos I have to use an external drive. The laptop starts having problems, starts giving me warnings, you're running out of space, running out of space. So by swapping these around, 480 internal, 120 external, it's going to be thumbs up. So let's do that. Now like I mentioned, they actually give you the screwdrivers you need in the box. So it's so simple. We just remove these 4 screws here. The case will open and we remove one final screw to take the SSD out. In the booklet they show that you just lift it a little bit and then kind of slide it out. I would say be gentle because this is a very expensive component. That's 480 gig right there. Now on the laptop we would use the included screwdriver, another one, but like I said, I don't have screws on mine anymore, so it's very quick. Just remove it like that, and here's our SSD. Again, it's just one screw to remove this. Sorry about the shadows, by the way. I know the production value of this video isn't very high, but I want to get this done because I still have to edit videos, and yeah, I just want to get it done as fast as possible. I am so excited. I also want to show it to you guys. So there you go, that's the 120 gig removed, and we'll immediately put in the 480 gig. That just slides in, and then put the screw back in to hold it in place, put the laptop cover back on, and there we go, 480 gig installed. Now we take the 120 and we're going to put that in the enclosure. Now like I said, you could just use this as a 480 external drive if you want, but in my case I will use it as an upgrade. So we'll put the 120 back in here. This one is a little bit scary because when you put it in, it goes in just a little bit, and then you have to really give it a good push to get it to lock. You hear that click? So first time I did that, because I tried this earlier, to be honest, before I turned on the camera. I wanted to play with it. First time I did it, I was like, oh, I'm a little bit scared I'm gonna break it. But no, it didn't break. And by the way, 5-year worldwide warranty, even here in the Philippines. Some local resellers will tell you, hey, we only have a 6-month or a 1-year warranty. But if you go direct to Transcend, they'll give you instructions on how to claim within the 5-year warranty. So there you go. We have our 120 gig SSD in here. Put the case back together, screw it in. Now I know what the techies out there are going to be thinking. If you put... oh, I didn't shut it down first. Oh my goodness. Now I know what the techies out there are going to be thinking. If you just put a 480 gig SSD in here, when you turn it on, nothing's going to happen because you haven't installed the operating system. And yes, you're correct, but that's very easy to deal with. Now you could use an Apple Time Machine and then do a recovery restoration like that. You could even install the Time Machine back up to the SSD, but I want to do a fresh install and I'm going to show you how. So we'll turn the laptop back off. It's actually turned on even though there's nothing on the screen. There we go. And plug in my external drive, which now holds my original drive. Turn on the laptop, hold Command R. That's going to boot us into recovery from the external drive. So any moment now the screen should show something. Like I said, this is a 2013, so it's not exactly the fastest machine out there. And there you go, it's now booting into recovery. So I'll cut the video and come back once it's booted properly. So now we're in the recovery menu. The first thing we have to do is go to Disk Utility. Then we click View, Show All Devices. We select the internal drive. Then we go to Erase over here. We'll change it to Mac OS Extended, and you'll see it has a GUID partition map option. That's the one we're going to select, and then we'll rename this T Internal, Transcend Internal. Click Erase. That took around 10 seconds, so click Done. Close this, then select Reinstall Mac OS. Click Continue. Continue again. Then we'll click Agree, Agree. We'll select our new drive, 480 gig T internal. Click Install. Not connected to power source. Okay, I have to plug in my laptop. So there you go, plugged in the power adapter, immediately continued. Now we come back in around 20 minutes. So rather than 20 minutes, that was more like 1 hour, 20 minutes. Anyway, we now have a fresh installation, so I'll just get this done and then we'll do a test on the new internal SSD. And here you go, on my desktop, fresh installation. You might be thinking, how about your apps, your files, everything like that? Well, you can see here, I've mounted the external drive. Remember, we put our old SSD into this, so I can still access all of those things, and I can copy over whatever I want, reinstall my apps. You could do an automated backup using the Time Machine and everything like that, but for me, fresh SSD, fresh install. That's my preference. And now the SSD is installed inside the laptop. Let's use the Blackmagic disk speed test and see what kind of speeds we can get. Okay, so over 1100 megabytes per second write. Read is over 1400 megabytes per second. So very impressive speeds. And the fact that this uses Thunderbolt is a big bonus for me. Because this laptop is so old, the USB ports aren't in very good condition, so when I use an external drive via USB, it only takes a slight little wiggle, slight little move, and it disconnects itself. And if you're writing data to the drive while it gets disconnected, you risk corrupting the whole thing. So I'm very happy that this uses Thunderbolt, because this Thunderbolt port on the laptop, it's never been used. I've never had any use for this until now, so that's another benefit, apart from the fact that it has good speeds also. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, it's not going to be super technical. You can see my internal SSD is now 464 gig available, so no more problems editing videos. The external, which is my old SSD from the MacBook, has 6 gig available, and I can still access everything. I can still use this as a regular external drive, and once I've copied off my important stuff, I'll probably clean this so it'll be a fresh start also. And yeah, big thanks to Transcend. I've been very happy with their products, and the fact that they've given this free to support me is really helpful. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. But there are many reviews of this, very good reviews. If you go on Amazon, for example, you can see there's so many good reviews, and lots of technical data available online. So thanks for watching.